hey yo, how you doing, guys? It's 1/5 of them boys, me, the 1AJ, representing the Ministry of Wrestling. So you know what that means? We're here. And why are we here? Because it may not be The Rock, it may not be the final boss, but it's part one of the final prediction. Yes, that's right, guys. It seems like it's all set in stone. We have our number one contender, our number one person. He may be, well, he's the number one contender right now, and he may well be champ by the end of this show. All depends. He could go completely wrong. And we have our main Lehu Zahar. But either way, guys, it doesn't stop. Whether it's all set in stone, whether it could potentially go wrong, which I doubt. I think everything is in stone. The wheels keep on turning. It's WrestleMania, baby. Yes, night one, night two. Look out for 2 separate videos from us. This one plus another one dropping tomorrow. It's time. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go with match one. Mr. Royal Rumble himself, Mr. Main Event in name, but not main event in match. Jey Uso takes on the Ring General Gunther. How did the guys vote? Let's have a look. Mania disrespect part one. Royal Rumble disrespect. We know where we're going with this, right? 2 Royal Rumble winners, neither main eventing. Doesn't make the world of sense to me. But here we are. We're at this point. So I'm hoping that this could at least be match one. Let's at least do that. And I think the Yeeter of Worlds is a good way to open the show, right? After the beatdown on Jimmy, I want to give it to Jey. I know when we first done this and we done our Rumble and we saw it and we done a post reaction or what have you, it was about, so who does Jey lose to? That was everyone's wording. Not so sure now. Gunther is Gunther. I take it back in a minute, but hey, Jey Uso has that moment for a moment. Redeem yourself from your last Mania match, son, because yeah. But either way, let's not drag it. I feel like it's Jey's moment. I in my heart, he's still the Uso. Yes, it's in his name, but like the tag titles and stuff like that is the way he should be going. But they're on different shows. They come out together on Raw. It's to Jey's music. That's how far gone the Usos are right now. I really don't want to see Jimmy become the Jannetty, as it were. But yeah, again, I'm just rambling now. Jey Uso for the win, your new World Heavyweight Champion.
Giving a little bit away about what I think the other world title match is going to be, I don't think you can have, I mean you can, but I don't think they should have every single world title match being a bummer and a downer here. I think that the Cody Cena match is going to end with a heel win. Spoiler for my prediction later. So you got to counterbalance that with a good feeling. This Jey Uso run has been a bit awkward, but I do think they did a blinder by having Jimmy become Gunther's victim, which essentially after having 2 losses to Gunther and then seeing his brother get the massive beatdown, it wouldn't make the world of sense for Gunther to retain here. Like, he's owed a receipt, and that receipt is going to be his title loss. So, cue 70,000 people going, yeet! I think Jey Uso's winning this one. And I didn't think that a few weeks ago. But yeah, they've won me over. I think Jey Uso's winning the big one.
I'll be pissed if I won the Royal Rumble and they've given main event on Wikipedia, which I'm looking at right here. They've put it as a second match. It could be the second or third. It could be a filler match. But it's really messed up that it is that. Jey, I got more for you on that too. Watch that video, you find out why. But for this one, I see Jey winning just because of all of the build-up. If he loses this, then he's just straight. But he's not even in the mid-card. He's down to the lower cards. So yeah, Jey Uso to win this match. Simple again.
This is going to be the feel-good match moment. And it has been very, very interesting, this world title fight. And after what Gunther has been doing with the Usos, with Jimmy Uso literally beat the crap out of him, really, whilst my man was handcuffed to the ropes. It's that kind of moment, isn't it? So it's going to be that feel-good moment. I don't think there's nothing to deliberate here. We all know it's coming, and I'm definitely going to yeet for that. Your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso. Mr. Main Event, Jey Uso. Yeet.
So man, I gotta admit, I feel sorry for Jay somewhat. Like he was so over going into the Royal Rumble and just after that. But like I don't know whether it's been pressure at the top or whatever's happened. Like sort of pour a bit of water on his like popularity. It's happened. Don't get me wrong. He's still over like as much as someone can be. But it's just that this match feels lackluster. It doesn't even feel like really it should have been a main event of one of the, WrestleMania nights, and it's not. Like, Borderline feels a bit mid-card. I feel that's a bit sad for both, for Jay and Gunther. As for who wins, I think it's a better idea to give Jay the moment. Because, like, especially if this is one of the opening matches, it's just going to send everyone, make everyone happy. Like, start off the show electrically. Like, whereas you make Jay lose, you probably might kill the mood for the rest of the night. So that's not going to be a good idea. And to be honest, they might even do a bit of a rebellion with, like they did with Daniel Bryan when he lost the title in 18 seconds. And just start chanting Jey Uso all night. But yeah, I'm going to go with Jay wins, becomes your new World Heavyweight Champion.
So we are all on team Yeet, Jey Uso for the win. But will that happen on the night? Time will tell. Okay, guys, let's keep it going. Right, it's Luchador versus Luchador. Yeah, we're talking Rey Mysterio versus the latest signing to WWE, El Grande Americano from the Gulf of America. Anyway, Matt is not where he's from. Let's see how the guys vote.
A lot of you know Rey Mysterio is my favorite wrestler of all time. But we all know the wise words of Big Tone. 3 things are sure in life: death, taxes, and Rey Mysterio getting his ass whooped. Sucks. Disrespect. That said, in this capacity, I actually think it's a lot of fun. Because El Grande Americano. There's going to be some shenanigans with his mask, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be El Grande Americano to win this. I'm just sad that Chad Gable's not getting a spot on this Mania card. He's done so well this year. Sucks that he's injured, isn't it? So yeah, Grande Americano to win this one.
Yes, so you have the large American, versus the tiny Mexican, aka Rey Mysterio, a real American right there. We're gonna have, do you know what? I'm giving this to El Grande Americano to win and have Chad Gable come out and congratulate him. Yes, well done, you won this match. But have the match going on for quite some time. Rolling in the ring. El Americano rolling in the ring. When he comes back out, there's some shenanigans and he wins. And then somehow Chad Gable comes back out wearing something different. I don't know. Whatever it is, I want the Chad Gable thing to keep going. But yeah, Grande Americano's winning this.
This is a very hard decision for me to make, because do you make the greatest luchador of all time win, or do you make El Grande Americano win, which name has just recently been trademarked? It's very hard. But in order for it to make sense, I know there's going to be another match after this, probably SummerSlam, probably beforehand. It's going to be mask versus mask. And I think in order for that to happen, El Grande Americano's got to win, and then Rey would pull a stipulation like that will tempt El Grande Americano to have another match with him. So it's going to be a massive upset, but the winner, El Grande Americano.
This one going to be a sleeper hit, man. Like, because I'm telling you, Chad Gable is that underrated guy, man. Like, if we're going to piggyback titles, like, now and again, why not send one, like, to Chad's way? He really does deserve it, man. I know he's good enough to do his whole stick without it, but man, put a title on Chad this year, please, man. However, man, like, is he gonna win this match? Nah, man, like, come on. The funnier part of it is gonna be him being like unmasked. I mean, maybe they might save it and like keep it being a thing that's changed. But nah, I think Rey Mysterio wins, and I think Rey Mysterio demasks what's it called? El Grande Americano or whatever. Yeah. AKA Chad Gable. Rey Mysterio for the win.
The old me would have been, so El Grande Americano wins, and then at Backlash, Rey Mysterio gets the upper hand. I've realized that doesn't work anymore. With stuff like this, it's all about the happy moments, the good moments, and each time I bet against Rey recently, it's not gone right. So yes, Rey Mysterio is going to beat El Grande Americano. He's going to rip off the mask, and it's shock horror. How could it be Chad Gable? It would actually be really funny if he pulls it off and it's not Chad, because Chad's got someone else to duplicate as him. But who else has that frame? There's not too many Shorty G's out there. Couldn't help it. Yeah. So anyway, either way, Rey Mysterio for the win. Sorry, Chad. Sorry. Oh, Grande. So there's a split. The top end of the video seems to be Team Grande Americano, which I think you can order in Starbucks. And down the other end, you've got three guys who are going for Rey Mysterio. Who's that jumping out the sky? Anyway, let's keep it going. Let's bring another title into the mix. Or actually, yeah, no, it's the second title for the show. Here we go. Let's go for the US title as we talk about LA Knight. Yeah, takes on Jacob Fatu. Which way did the guys vote? Let's have a look.
I think this is one of the most predictable matches because it's gotta be Jacob Fatu winning this. He's like the biggest dude right now. He's the one everyone's on. Everyone's riding Jacob's on. So, LA Knight, yeah, if people still do that. If you're still doing your thing, but right now it's Jacob. Put a belt on Jake. Let him hold it next year, main eventing WrestleMania. Could be Jacob Fatu with somebody else. Actually, no, it'd probably be Roman Reigns again. But yeah, Jacob to win this.
I really want to vote with my heart on this one because it's like Jacob Fatu, you know? The Samoan werewolf has been doing exactly what his t-shirt's saying. He's been impressing week after week from post to post and from coast to coast. So I think they should push him to the moon for him to get that United States title. Because then I could see Solo getting jealous over that and then they have a title to kind of feud over. But that's the problem. Solo's going to come down. He's going to want to help Jacob Fatu. He's going to inadvertently cost him the match. And that's going to cause a bigger dissension in the ranks of the bloodline. So still, your United States champion, LA Knight. I'm going to say yeah, but I really want Jacob Fatu to win.
It warms my heart, like, to see the world just embrace Jacob like this, like, because obviously I've been watching MLW for a while, so I know that this guy is wild, man, and it's great that the world knows it. He's a future star, he's a future champion, and like, he's just like getting all the love that he should be at the moment. Thus, I love LA Knight. I feel you pulled the trigger on him a little bit too late. However, you probably will always remain in the upper mid card, which is fair enough. Maybe he might be fortunate to get a world title reign in the future. I don't know. It looks more doubtful day by day. But one thing I do know, he's definitely losing his title here to the Samoan werewolf, man. Then be the breaks.
Fun fact, this is actually a re-record. I had said in my previous video, one, I wasn't sure if the video was going to make it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The main part was I said Jacob is going to steamroll LA Knight. Absolutely steamroll LA Knight. And the whole reasoning was LA Knight won the title back from Nakamura because maybe the Nakamura run didn't work so much, but more than anything, we needed a face to lose to the heel that is Jacob Fatu. I don't know how much of a heel Jacob is when I'm on this. LA Knight is there, but I've now just thought maybe we're looking bigger than titles because it's not the gold that circulates around LA. Well, Jacob Fatu, it's the Solo feud. So what if Solo costs Jacob Fatu the US title? That's more interesting. Look, I'm losing right now, so maybe this will give me the bonus, or I just sit in bottom position. But I'm gonna go with LA Knight, yeah, because I think it should be a steamrolling, but Solo Sikoa will be the difference maker, and not for the family. For LA Knight, somehow either he's going to help him screw up, or he's going to do it, and lead to a backlash feud between the two. That doesn't need gold. Yeah, making this too long. LA Knight for the win, even though I really didn't want that to be the way.
Seems a bit funny that after having won the US title back so quickly, and given that LA Knight is such a fan favourite, it's weird taking the belt off him that quickly. And I do wonder if there's not some clever booking that can be done to keep the belt on him and also preserve Fatu's dominance. But like, they've presented Fatu as too much of an unstoppable force. He's got to win gold here. I mean, I'm not sad. I'm relieved that this whole bloodline BS is over. I'm also relieved that the mutt Solo Sikoa is nowhere to be seen in ring on this card. Likewise, Tamatonga, thank God. The one good shining light about them when he was finally allowed to speak instead of going, "I love you, Solo," wank wank. Jacob has now been unleashed. Now he's cool. So yeah, put the belt on him.
Okay, so there you go. It looks like the trees have split as it goes. The branches of the tree of Ministry of Wrestling continue to split. But it seems like me and Leon are on the same page still. So we continue. Will it be the case as we talk about the returning queen herself, Charlotte Flair? Woo! Taking on Miss Money in the Bank, Miss WWE Women's Champion. Yes, we are talking about none other than Tiffy time. Yes, Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. The WWE Women's Championship is on the line. Which way the guys vote? Let's have a look.
This is going to be a very interesting championship match because they've both kind of gone off the script a little bit. That being said, I don't know if Charlotte's going to be punished. I don't know if Tiffany's going to be punished. It's easy to say that Charlotte could go on to win her 14th or a 15th championship. But we've already got that kind of story in John Cena. So I don't know if they're going to go forward with this. But I think in order to push Tiffy to the top, she's got to beat someone who's at the tippy top. That being said, I think she might get the surprise win here. So still your WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton.
So this one is definitely going to be fiery. And I think an overall good match. I mean, obviously, it's been made that much more impactful by the shoot real life angle stuff. Charlotte apparently going into business for herself, and to the point where even WWE is notifying Tiffany going out there, or she might do that, and then Tiffany has just like totally sent into the stratosphere of personal business with what she said, to a point where you got memes going around. Whether you think Tiffany's wrong or not for doing that, what can you say? I mean, Charlotte instigated that whole thing, it's what it is. And I think because of that, whereas I was dead set on Charlotte winning now I'm not so sure. Although I think the better story would be for Tiffany to lose her belt, Charlotte to go on a tear, and Tiffany to eventually get it back off her. However, what are we gonna do? I'm gonna go with Tiffany to retain her title against Charlotte. Yep. I'm not confident in that. It could go either way. But yeah, I'm going to say Tiffany for the win.
Disrespect part two. We all know how I feel about Jay and Gunter, so it's pretty much the same thing. I'm not going to waste your time and let you hear it again. But here's the thing. If you're not going to give a person a main event for winning the Royal Rumble, can you at least give them match one? Like, this should have been match one of night two. Like, can we not even agree on that, guys? That let's just go with that. How can you have both your Rumble winners on night one. So then this is the main event night, right? If both your winners are that. Enough. I'm actually torn. At first it felt very like, yeah, Charlotte's back, Charlotte wins, Charlotte moves on. Tiffany Stratton beating Charlotte Flair has an interesting swing to it. Do you know what? Sometimes I'm prepared for videos, guys. Other times I think while I record. I just see the thing and I say it. So I've not even had time to process this one too much. I'm going to go with Tiffany. It's Tiffy time. I honestly, at the time that Charlotte won, I thought Charlotte's going to win and move on. Not so sure now. I feel like the reception to Charlotte just isn't what it used to be. Maybe that's what she's just saved her safe for Mania, and she's going to prove that she's Charlotte Flair because that's who she is and it's what she does. Let's usher in a new era. If we're going to usher in a new era of talent, like the 4 horsewomen, nothing but love and respect for all 4 of you, even though it's only 3 of you still in the company. Let's usher in a new era. Let's do it from now. Tiffany Stratton for the win.
So I know wrestling's not real and all that, but I'm not gonna lie, this view's pretty real. I have long said I think Tiffany Stratton is a waste of space. I think what's funny about this one is that people are like, no, Charlotte did Tiffany dirty in that promo, so Tiffany was right to clap back. Here's the thing about that. When Charlotte buried Tiffany, and it was a burial, that was all the pre-agreed script. Tiffany floundered in her promo with the Queen. Completely floundered, so much so that to get her revenge, she had to shoot on her. So she couldn't hold her own in a scripted dimension, so she had to bring in real life-ish, and now people are all up on like, oh, Tiffy time. F Tiffy time, I'm sorry. She hasn't been a good champion. Yes, the stuff she did with the briefcase and Nia Jax, while utterly predictable, was somewhat entertaining. She's been an absolutely dead champion. I don't rate her in ring. I don't rate her on the mic. And I also think that Charlotte Flair is one of the greatest female wrestlers to ever live. Overbooked and overpushed to hell, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But Charlotte Flair's the better wrestler here. Let's not get it twisted. I think people dislike Charlotte because she's overpushed, overbooked. There's no beef there. I agree with you. But man, I do think that WWE are going to continue to have Flair have the Flair run. She needs more title wins. Okay, she doesn't need more title wins. She needs more title wins for the purpose of filling this narrative of she must win as many titles, if not more, than her daddy. So, justifiably in this sense, because Tiffany Stratton can't hold her own against the Queen, Charlotte Flair wins.
But it's Mania, so they give us a larger card. And with this one, it's actually don't feel that hard to me. There's like a couple matches. Not this one, though, because it's AJ was mentioning it, Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. As much as it was getting hot on the interview part, you know, them not going off script and all that, and it's not even VKM in top, I'm still going to go with Charlotte Flair, the blonde. You know, it's Mania, got to beat her dad's record, and I know, ooh, I'm hurt, so put a belt on her. I know the other one's blonde as well, but the true blonde. So yeah, Charlotte Flair to win this, and it's not even difficult for me. Don't want her to win, but yeah, Charlotte's gonna win.
So, interesting fact, like everybody brought up the shoots, the promos. Tiffany got buried. Now, you listen to part of what Double V said, and I'm not firing when I say this. You've got the whole element of that was part of the script, but she was buried. So in which case, Tiff should have had it. I don't know how much of this is really a shoot. Like the same way we had Kevin Owens beating up Cody and it was fan captured. I think this is what gave people relevance in this story because it was just a regular Charlotte Flair win and there was nothing more to it. And I think they even wanted Charlotte to be the face, but it was like ultra mixed reaction. So you know what? Let's blur reality with wrestling. That's how wrestling works at its best, right? So I'm just saying, I could be wrong. I don't think it's as deep as everyone thinks it is. Like, yeah, that's just my opinion. Either way, the guys are once again split. We have the Charlotte Flair crowd. We have the Tiffy Time crowd. I'm sticking Team Tiffy, but I will not be shocked if Charlotte Flair wins because Charlotte Flair. Anyway, let's go from one title to another. Let's talk about the World Tag Team titles as the newly renamed or back to the original names, whichever way you want to call it. The War Raiders take on the New Day. Yes, they are for the tag titles. Let's go.
You know, it's really sad to me that this match feels just like card filler when it shouldn't. Yeah, because it's got two amazing teams, man. Like, you got the War Raiders. Like, in NXT, these guys were amazing. In New Japan, as the War Machine, they were even better. Yeah, and like the matches they had with teams like American Alpha and stuff are just memorable. And it's sad what's become of them. Even as World Tag Team Champions, they're barely on TV and more or less forgotten. Yeah. Good kudos for them to at least be on the WrestleMania card, though. As for the New Day, man, it's even more sad that you didn't capitalize on that excellent heel turn that Xavier and Kingston did a few weeks back. Well, a few months back now. Like, that was amazing, and that was the time to just push them to the moon. And like, had you been building on that story all this time and it be going into WrestleMania as the big blow-off match, yeah, that it deserves to be, this would be in a lot greater stead with a lot of fans. But as it is, it's just filler. However, if you're going to take an opportunity to do something, make the New Day champions. And I'm going to go with the New Day because I want them to be champions. Or otherwise, like I said before, you can't turn people here and just not have them win. It's pointless. So New Day for the win.
It's a New Day. Yes, it is. Like, I feel like I should just cut there. Look, it's good to see that the War Raiders are not the Viking experience and this, that, and the other. They're just who they are when they came in. Two A kickers, Eric and Ivar. This whole New Day shtick, this whole anti-Biggie situation. Now, there is a part of me that says Biggie comes in and shuts these boys down and the War Raiders strive as your tag champs. However, is that how the War Raiders deserve to retain if they retain? No, it really isn't. Let's really up it on this new, like, remember New Day started off as heels, but let's go with this real heelish New Day that's there in a complete new fashion. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods for the win without Big E. Show that they can do it. Let Kofi Mania reign for a second time with King Woods. That's the one. Yeah, but either way, we're not going back to the old days. We're talking the New Day. Yes, it is. Tag champs.
A little bit tricky to call this one. I have to say, I am bummed that after all the work that's been done on the SmackDown Tag Team division with DIY and Motor City Machine Guts and Pretty Deadly, I am a bit bummed that Pretty Deadly aren't even making it onto Mania. I think that's kind of crap. I imagine they'll probably do a big tag team match on the Go Home SmackDown show, which, bare minimum, I guess. But Pretty Deadly really should be on this card. That said, we are getting at least one male tag team championship match. The War Raiders against the New Day. I mean, put it this way. I didn't even remember that the War Raiders were tag champs. So, take the belts off them. I'm going to say the New Day should be getting the gold here.
New Day on a Mania wouldn't be Mania without them, you know what I'm saying? But it's not really the New Day if it's not all of them, you know? And I've been watching the product. Remember my tagline, then the wrestling fan that doesn't watch wrestling? I've been watching it that much. I've been looking up on all the social medias, but I haven't seen too much about this. Isn't Biggie like, they turn heel on him? But it'd be great swerve if Big E comes in and help them and the New Day fully reform with Big E being a heel, being their manager or being outside in the ring. And yeah, but I'm going with Usos. I'm going with New Day winning this and Big E causing some interference. That's not part of it, just the win and loss. All right.
Again, in this match, it's another question of has the heel turn been enough for them to make a difference? In this situation, I think it has. I think it's time that they obviously go on the next level since their heel turn. And the only way they do that is if they beat the War Raiders. So your new WWE Tag Team Champions, your WWE World Tag Team Champions, sorry, because the WWE Tag Team Champions are the Street Profits, so my apologies. New champs, the New Day.
I can't help but agree. I mean, we all agreed it's a new day. Yes, it is. 3 times one video. Anyway, doesn't matter. We all agree on, New Day should be the tag team champs. Nothing against the War Raiders when we say that. However, Den said something very interesting. Big E joining the New Day. Ever since I've heard that, can't get it out of my brain. Yeah, rejoining the New Day. Let's usher in the New Day era correctly. But Nico had the biggest point of this one. Everything had the fingers, the pulse, the drive towards a fatal 4-way for the SmackDown tag, the WWE tag titles, and somehow we got this match. No disrespect to these guys, they will put on one heck of a match, but that was the money there. It was all building, all the crooks and the cracks and the what have you. Ever since the Profits won, I was like, oh, we had a title change pre-Mania, and it always put me off. But again, time that doesn't need to be time. Let's go on to a revenge story. Jade Cargill, Naomi. Which way did you guys vote? Let's have a look. I like this new Naomi. I didn't even know it was possible. I really didn't. Like, I've seen Team Bad. I knew she could be a heel, but this side? Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Sadly, Jade Cargill's going to win. Like, yeah, redemption at Elimination Chamber was one thing. That was all part of the reveal, grand shock. Now it's time for the real payback. It's going to be very unfortunate. It may be a squash. I've reserved that for another match, mind you. But yeah, I like this Naomi. Long may she continue. But Jade is winning. There is no in-betweens on that. Jade Cargill needs a Mania moment. This is her time. This is Jade on a solo run, guys. Solo Jade Cargill at Mania. Do your thing, girl. Show why you left the other company. Jade Cargill for the win.
Let's not dawdle on this. Naomi injured Jade, put her on the shelf. Naomi's owed a receipt. Jade Cargill wins. End of story.
One of my not so simple matches. Jade Cargill should win because, you know, Jay's the one that got hurt, came back, and is meant to be tearing up house, you know, meant to run stuff. But Naomi is Naomi, you know. They might just do a swerve and have Naomi win and have, like, someone else come and help. But, you know what? Screw it. Jade Cargill's going to win it. This is going to be one of the predictable matches, like almost like a squash. Jade, do your thing, girl. I'll fight someone else. You're just fighting the black people. I don't know why. Don't know why.
This is a hard match for me to call because I'm thinking, has Naomi built up her heel turn enough in order to get a win at WrestleMania? Or does Jade lose after recently just coming back after her injuries? She has been getting the better of Naomi the last couple of weeks on SmackDown. But I think Naomi may have to take another loss here in order to build that heel turn even more. It's a good heel turn, don't get me wrong, but I'm not fully convinced it's enough for her to get the win just yet. I think they got to dig a little bit deeper. In order for her to do that, she may have to lose this match. As much as I know she could win by nefarious means, I'm going to go on paper for what I think is going to happen. And she may be even so bitter she comes and disturbs Bianca's match as well in the triple threat. So, the winner of the match, Jade Cargill.
Cargill versus Naomi is a lot harder than like you would have thought on paper, because there is really credence for both of them to win. Like, you turn Naomi heel, yeah, and again, like WWE love to do this, but it's pointless turning people heel and then they don't win anything. Yeah, so she can win in that regard. But then at the same time, this is the big payback. Like Jade, like they still want to push Jade as a megastar. She, like, you know, has been on the shelf. Apparently had her ass whipped by Naomi. So, like, really she needs to win this. Who wins? Like, because obviously Naomi has the bonus of like winning through like nefarious means, and then they can continue the feud, and like Jay can eventually get her win back, her source back. Oh man, how did I would have fought this one, but I am gonna go with Jade Cargill gets her revenge, like whether that is like WWE saying what they've become Naomi, I don't know, but Jade Cargill for the win.
Look, everyone's gone for Jade Cargill, but I don't think anyone will be upset to see a Naomi victory. Keep the glow going, even though the glow isn't the same glow anymore. Okay, guys, now, it may be night one, but it doesn't prevent the fact that there is still a main event. Yes, the Tribal Chief, the Architect, and the Prodigal Son. Let's go with. He's returned. He finally gets his moment at WrestleMania in the main event. Some would say it was more of a main event when he took on The Undertaker, because, hey, if Jey Uso's main eventing and isn't main eventing, why does he have to have the last match without a title? But that's not the argument. That could be another show for another time. Paul Heyman in one man's corner when he's been in another man's corner for the past 4 years. That's another conversation in itself. There are so many links between this. You talk the Shield, you talk the inception of the Shield. Small history lesson for anyone who doesn't know, and I'm sure most of you do. The Shield came in to help CM Punk when he was a Paul Heyman guy. In that time, he left, the Shield descended, Seth betrayed Roman multiple times. Just look back at last Mania. In that time, Paul Heyman has been a wise man. It's not as random as you think. It doesn't need gold. It just needed more of a build. Just, oh, my favor, I want you to walk me down to Mania. Come on, earn the spot to Mania to do it. Like, that should have been the favor as I got you main event. Then he just chooses to walk out with Punk. Anyway, enough situations. Like, it could have been, I got you the main event at Mania. That was the favor. How Heyman has that favor, I don't know. But then it would have been Paul to the Tron. That was the promise. You got me the main event. Keep to your words. If you're a wise man, you're a man, a bit of a Montana moment. You got your words and you get where I'm going. I'm not going to be rude. Anyway, why am I delaying it? Let's see which way the guys voted in the main event of night one. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
I had some people trying to justify to me when I was at the Monday Night Raw at the O2 in London. I had fans sitting around me trying to justify to me how sometimes storyline takes precedence over world titles. No, it doesn't. Incorrect to the highest degree. Sometimes storyline matches can exceed in quality world title matches, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels being probably the pinnacle of that as an example. You cannot, as a wrestling promotion where we are suspending disbelief and buying into the world's title is the Oscar, it is the Academy Award, it is the cream of the crop, it is the ultimate prize, the biggest prize in the game, therefore it should be in the main event spot, right? No, of course not. What we have in the main event spot is a former tribal chief who looks like he doesn't want to be involved in this match, a politician who's got a history of being a whiny bitch called CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, who 3-star Seth is my saying for him. To be fair to Rollins, he's probably been the best part of this whole feud. So here we have a match for nothing in the main event of WrestleMania. That tells me that if it's going in there, there needs to be a big swerve. Now, I know I'm not the first to say this. I think this has been doing the rounds online. I just happened to share this thought. I think Bully Ray said this on his podcast. Roman doesn't really need Heyman anymore. Punk definitely doesn't need Heyman. Seth is kind of at that point in his career where Heyman joined Roman and where Heyman joined Punk. Seth is kind of at that point where he needs the manager to give him that pushover. Not as a mouthpiece, but as a hype man. I can't see them making Punk lose after championing him to be in the main event at Mania. I'd laugh if they did, though. I've got a bit of leeway here because of my points advantage on the rare. So it's one of those rare occasions where I can go with my heart. I'm going to call a swerve here, and I'm actually going to say Seth Rollins wins this. Can't believe I'm saying that. Don't even really like Seth Rollins, but he's been great recently. And I think it would be a really interesting swerve. And it would also spare their blushes of, well, why was it in the main event? Here's why. So, okay. If that's how you're going to play it, I still don't think it's worthy of being in the main event. But at least it's interesting. So, yeah. Seth Rollins to win.
Night 1 main event should not be the main event. Adamantly, it shouldn't be the main event. But, hey, when you're a little crybaby, you get what you want. That's my last one. Right. The thing was to come out with Paul Heyman. So my two winners are going to be either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns, where Paul Heyman support his tribal chief and stay a wise man. And this guy that was your friend was trying to shut your company down. Anyway. But you know what? It could be Seth, because he's just an angry guy right now. And if he loses again, he just loses again. Roman or Seth? Invisible coin. Seth Rollins to win this match.
Now, who wins in this triple threat match? Who does Paul Heyman get behind? Does he get behind his best friend and the best in the world? Does he get behind his tribal chief, who pulled him out of obscurity to the island of relevancy, as he likes to say? It's really hard, but then after what happened last week on Raw, he now owes Seth Rollins a favour, and could that be the favour that makes him win overall? He could turn his back on the other two because he doesn't know who to get behind, and he doesn't want to let either of them down either. Kind of another thing he was trying to say on Raw before Seth Rollins came down, but now he owes him another favour. That's going to be the capitalist. So your winner is going to be Seth freaking Rollins.
So here we are, the big one of night 1. I know a lot of people are questioning the validity of this match's placement, considering they feel it's a bit lackluster. But realistically, it's got the biggest stars in the company. The only stars that are on the same level or bigger is on the main event of night 2. So what can we do really, man? You got to put the big people in the main event, man. I feel this match will deliver. It'll be a lot of fun. And there'll be a lot of near falls. The whole Paul Heyman, who's he going to pick aspect, I don't think it's the grandest story. To be honest, that story would have probably been better off being carried out on a one-on-one between Reigns and Punk. But hey, we're here now, so who wins? I think to find that answer, you really got to consider the future of where they go after that title reign. And to be honest, any 3 of these guys can challenge for either of the world title at any time and no one would bat an eyelid. But I would say the money one is on Punk, especially what he said a few weeks ago, going after who's ever the WWE champion. And I think we can all see who that's going to be. So yeah, I think the logical choice would be for Punk to win here. CM Punk for the win.
The match that Nico and Den the Tech are waiting for more than anything in the world. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Okay, here we go. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. The wise man, the Paul Heyman guy, the architect, the visionary, the XYZ. Fun fact. Shouldn't go for it because my fun facts and my predictions mean jack all recently. Seth Rollins walks out with Paul Heyman. Why not? Why not, right? There's your shocker. Which way does he go? Does he stick with CM Punk? Does he stick with Roman? Seth's the new guy. The new guy. I called it for Solo. They didn't do it. This is a new era. But, I mean, Roman Reigns kind of needs Heyman, doesn't he? It just feels right having a wise man in the corner. CM Punk doesn't need Paul Heyman. It's just a buddy. It's just a buddy pairing. And Roman can talk now. It's not sucker and succotash. Roman Reigns. He doesn't need the wise man. It just feels right to have the wise man there. But I see Seth winning. I don't know. I still acknowledge. Punk had his Mania moment. He doesn't have to win. He just needs a Mania moment. It's not night 2. Calm down, son. It's not even for a title. Calm down, son. But you get what I'm going with this. There was this circulating thing that Brock Lesnar returns and we see who the real Heyman guy is. But yeah, let's try Seth as a Heyman guy. Let's see that heel turn. Let's see how that works out. Seth Rollins for the win. Okay, so there we go. Interesting fact with Big Tone's statement. What if Punk does lose and we go into bit of a spoiler for prediction on, let's say Cena does win, and it's a kind of, well, I won at Mania, you didn't, like you may have main evented, but my main event means more. But this is a CM Punk with a mission because he has lost everything, including his, well, I'm going to say he's wise man. That would have been Roman, but you get where I'm going. It still sells for a story. And Cena, Punk, SummerSlam, run it back. We're all down for it. But anyway, matters not, guys. That is night 1 done. I am the 1AJ, and I will catch you tomorrow for night 2 of WrestleMania and prediction show final. So until then, we are out, and I will see you soon. See ya.